Good morning, Las Vegas. Welcome to Rise and Shine.
Come on, everybody.
Welcome back to the Rise and Shine Las Vegas.
And good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Well, Jason, do you have any weather report today?
Weather report. Well, the weather's nice today. How's that? The weather's nice today. We actually got through, though, the sort of our own tail end of that major snowstorm, winter storm that belted California.
It was built in California. That's what I was wondering about.
Oh, California was just bombarded, avalanche, 7 to 10 feet or more throughout Big Bear and all Northern California, just crushed, absolutely crushed. They had to shut down ski resorts for a little while. I mean, absolutely. And the winds up to 50, 100, 150 miles an hour. So, yeah, California got blasted again. I swear, Mother Nature's really trying to help us out and get rid of California entirely. It just keeps trying with all the fires, all the floods, all the snow. It's still hanging on, though. But, all right, enough about that. We got a tail end of that, though. We got a fair amount of rain and heavy wind.
Boy, did we.
Yes.
Now, before we talk anymore, there's somebody else here with us. So I'd like to introduce retired police sergeant from Metro Police Department, Stan Hyt, is here to join us today. Welcome to
Thank
our
you, Jason.
show.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you so
having
much
me
for
on.
coming in. It's an honor to be
Oh.
back in my TV channel.
My pleasure.
Actually been stalking him and said, hey, when can I have you on my channel?
We're trying to get a little bit more credibility, a little bit more, seriousness on the show. Somebody like Stan here actually kind of makes us look a little better.
Yes, right?
Well, okay. All right. What do you want?
Well, I think this, I'm not a journalist, but I play one on TV. So
Yes.
if we can have somebody real here, then so much the better.
So what do you think about that wind that almost carried
Oh my
me?
gosh.
You get hit
carried
by
me.
it too?
I was walking to Costco on that day. Costco, I don't know why I love to go shopping on rainy day. So I was walking to Costco and I got out from my car and then I'm walking and then it's just like telling the wind like, no, go back to your car. And I am a lightweight.
You are a tiny football.
I'm surprised you didn't end up in Utah. Really, just pick you up and carry you away like freaking Dorothy.
That's what happened. So I went back to my car and I said, you know what? Forget about food.
No, that's a little bold of you to even try. But I guess rainy days make you want to shop. It's sort of your therapy on those gloomy
I
days.
love rain, so that's the reason why. But then the wind, no.
No.
So how about you, Stan? What are you doing on that day of the windy day?
Well, my pride and joy is my backyard. I got a nice swimming pool. I love my backyard. It's my getaway. And the winds just tore it apart. I mean, we're talking tree limbs and things in my pool. I was spending hours each day just trying to keep up. I mean, literally yesterday I finished. It's all back to normal. But I mean, that
3
wind.
days.
Huh?
3 days to.
I mean, I constantly when the wind was blowing, I was scooping leaves out and scooping leaves out, but then it just kept blowing in, so I had to keep trying to keep up with it. But it was, that wind was something.
A lot of cleanup. I swear, and all the bits of palm trees that
Oh,
end up, they
yeah.
look like animal carcasses. They look like some sort of weird creature scattered all over the roads and everything. So
I've got a little creepy crawler that goes in there, and those palm frond things that get in there, just get in and tangle
hang
it
it
up.
up and
Constantly have to take the machine apart. And,
See,
not a fan of wind.
feel for us. Las Vegas, we have it tough too.
Yeah.
You know what? We don't get tornadoes, we don't get earthquakes, we don't get hurricanes, tidal waves.
Yeah, no, in fairness, nothing like what's going on, for example, in the Panhandle, Texas and Oklahoma.
Yep.
That wildfire is just devastating.
Yeah.
Is underselling it. It's almost, not the word, because it's and all the livestock, all the cattle, all the ranches, all of that. Is it 6 million acres? I think. Or it's just extraordinary.
I read it about that wildfire in Texas. But
Yeah, it's enormous, and it's still going. And again, there's just so much through there. They never really have to deal with fires like that. I mean, out in the plains and the prairies, you don't think of that as much, but it's getting older. All right, so we don't have it that bad. Okay,
Yes,
we
right,
got
yeah,
windy.
but we deal with sandstorm and that wind. That wind is just literally. I thought that is gonna actually lift me up and take me to heaven.
I'm telling you, I'm surprised that you didn't end up a few counties away, just flying through the air.
Well, I hid inside my car after that.
Right, yeah.
When I couldn't walk,
A little tip, next time we're expected to get really heavy winds,
stay inside.
ankle weights. All right, we'll anchor you down to the ground, and it'll hold you down.
Oh, gotcha.
I was thinking weights like a
Weight
scuba
belts.
diver.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, somebody told me, you know those things that the anchor where you anchor in the boat.
Yeah.
They told me to bring one of those.
Drag your anchor with you when you go shopping, Maria.
Just throw it over your shoulder.
That's right.
Just
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's new in Las Vegas today? Do you have anything?
Oh, there's always so much going on. I was just kind of flipping through and looking, and yes, okay. There's a lot of concerts. Disturbed, I would have liked to see them. They were here Sunday, I believe it was. But Friday, of course, Madonna was here. I think on her True Blue Hair tour, or it just. How long has she been doing this? Like 40 years. But anyway, she was here. A big deal, I guess. Maybe with True Blue Hair. No, not exactly. What was that something I coming up with? Anyway, it's for some people. I know somebody on the show here or on the network went to see her.
Yeah, Dawn actually went and see her. I see that post. Yeah, and I also posted that I am claiming that I'm the illegitimate daughter of Madonna, because everybody actually is claiming that they are the illegitimate son or baby of
Legitimate son of somebody.
artists.
If there was any female artist out there that could mix up and be unaware of having a child of their own, I suppose it could be her.
Yeah.
But
anyways, no, that is just my joke for the day. Okay, don't get me wrong. Well, anyways, there's another. Oh, I believe we never came back to Rise and Shine Las Vegas after the Super Bowl. Did we? No, together, but you did
Okay.
came after that.
Right.
What do you think about the Super Bowl halftime?
so we're gonna go all the way back to the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
It didn't suck.
It sucked?
It didn't suck. It was decently done. I will say the roller skate part, when Usher did a number, one of the tracks on roller skates, had to work at that. That was impressive. Well done. Some of the appearances were pretty cool. Everybody was really excited when Ludacris appeared, and so there was some cool elements. They kind of ripped on Alicia Keys on social media.
Oh God, I love Alicia.
Because she had a bit of an off key for Keys
Oh my God.
beginning
Yeah.
to that, but
She's wonderful.
it's live.
Yeah, exactly. And it's live. What can you do?
I think I'd like to see somebody bald out or stuff like that.
Yes, right.
Or
Something like they normally have those kind of like props in the halftime. I want something really like for like Lady Gaga actually jumped from the.
Well, I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Oh no, that,
Yeah, we don't need to see
they
that.
have the safety, but
Yeah.
but then I want something goes off. a little
The
bit.
best part of some movies is the outtakes at the end and stuff, right? So,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
But anyways, Stan,
Yes.
okay, so being a retired cop, now you see, back when you were when you were a cop, and now there's a lot of more kind of like chaos now than before. All these police, what do you call it? Police, or all these cops, how do they actually kind of like transition from a little bit calm into a chaos like this? What the
I see.
preparation that they
we're dealing with a lot more people now. The city has really grown. We've got a professional football team, maybe a baseball team coming, an ice hockey team. A lot of people are flooding the city. And we've become a city of cameras where every action is recorded. So it's a tougher job. It's a tough job. And I think some of the high-profile incidences that have taken place throughout the nation have had a big effect on some of the output that these police officers are willing to even
I'll bet.
conform to, because nobody wants to get in trouble. Nobody wants to do the wrong thing. Thank you. I
Hey,
appreciate it.
absolutely.
Are you, I don't, you go ahead and keep it.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll just set-
I'm good, I'm good.
In case we need
But,
yes.
I just think it's a much harder job right now, and we need a little more compassion for officers that do make mistakes. I don't think we should throw officers away that make a mistake. We just, correction, teaching, training, it's a big deal. Experience. We're losing a lot of our experienced police officers, which is really unfortunate because of some of the news articles that are degrading them, demeaning them.
And the pressures
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
limitations,
Yeah.
the push to defund and
Oh.
all of that backlash.
It's not as serious here in Vegas, but those events cause us to knee jerk, so to speak. And
Good point.
it's like I said, it's a different world right now, and I think these officers need a little more compassion. Although the officers also still need to realize the dynamic that they're working in, and make sure that they stay within their training parameters.
It's an interesting. It brings to mind some of the things that I've talked about and thought about as far as what an officer goes through on the job in the line. It seems like there's been over a number of years now sort of a trend of many of them, at least the ones that are highlighted in the news and in these incidents, in an inability to handle the adrenaline that is inevitable in that incident, in that situation, and the overreactions that follow. It seems like in many cases the job is too much for many of them to handle.
Police officers get trained; they're very experienced, but everybody can get their buttons pushed. I mean, it can happen.
Right.
And you need to be able to de-escalate that situation as quick as possible. When you start to realize what's happening, that's why you get somebody, you have 2 officers, 3 officers, one can well, let's take a different perspective here.
There should be, yeah. When there's multiple officers on scene for that incident,
One gets his
there
butt
should
pushed,
be a
the other
voice of
2 can
reason.
check and balance.
Right, rather than feeding into it.
Right.
And that unfortunately are some of those isolated incidents that do occur, is that they all seem to just, and honestly, I see that on an emotional, psychological level throughout our society, is that gets the better of people.
But look at back in the day, police officers used to have a little more respect. People weren't as entitled, and there was more respect for authority, not just police,
Absolutely.
but teachers, parents, bosses. Now we've lost some of that.
You're very right.
The entitlement in our society has taught people, no, I can talk back. They can't do that to me. I know my rights. Instead of just listening, people need to listen more. God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. 2 ears to hear. So listen. And that's the way I feel that we could control some of these outbursts, adrenaline things, if we just took a moment to let them vent and possibly just hear their side. But then you've got that other argument where they don't want to. They just want to bait the police. They want to resist. They want to fight. They want to, cause problems. I mean, look at the mass stormings of these department stores where 40, 50 people storming. We never had that before.
Yeah, just the looting at every
Yeah.
opportunity.
It's an entitlement they feel they deserve,
right.
and it's really unfortunate. I mean, it's a welfare type mindset that.
It's definitely me.
Yeah.
And very emotionalist driven.
And the police are caught in the middle. I mean, look at New York. They don't even care if you commit crimes. You commit crime there. They were beating the police officers, and it's like,
That's right.
you go ahead and go. And then obviously look what happened. One of them went to Georgia and killed an innocent student.
It's true.
I mean, it's like we cannot tolerate. If you tolerate the small stuff, it leads to the big stuff. If you enforce the small stuff, and I don't mean with a heavy hand, but I mean you enforce it. There's a law. You commit a shoplift, you need to pay for that crime. You don't just throw it out like, oh, it's just a small crime. Because if you let that crime go, it graduates to a bigger crime.
Inevitably, very invariably, it usually does. I've always felt for the longest time that, when a young person is growing up and the whole thinking of, well, now that I'm a grown up, I can do what I want. And you're not the boss of me, and I can do what I want. That seems to, over the last few generations, been taken to the nth degree. And so everybody with their own entitled sense of autonomy is like, no one can tell me what to do, no one can tell me what's right or wrong, and no one can enforce any limits on me. And it just keeps escalating
And that
through
falls on
all
the
of their
same-
behavior.
That follows the same example of what I was explaining. You enforce the small stuff.
Yeah.
As a child, you discipline that child as a child, you won't have the issues when they get to be an adult. They won't have that entitlement. They'll have respect. I mean, if you do it correctly. I mean, nothing's
You would
perfect.
hope
It's
so,
not a
right?
science.
Yeah, there isn't a book on that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying that it has to be start at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
It starts with the parents.
Yes, it starts with
Teachers,
the
police, the bosses, they can't. By then, you're already formed. Some people say kids' behaviors are formed 5, 6, 7 years old. And, I don't know, I'm not a scientist myself, but I do believe that if you start young with a child, no means no, and you follow through with it, they learn. If you tell a child no, and then you let them do it, they don't know what no means, and they grow up that way. And
Do you
so,
have kids on your own?
I do, I have 2. I have a son and a daughter.
And how old are they? What are they?
My son is, I think, 42. He's a paramedic on the Clark County Fire Department.
Oh, wow.
And my daughter, she is 38, and she's going to make me a grandfather for my first time. I mean, I am 69 years old. I thought it was not going to happen. She's pregnant. She's going to have a little boy. I can't wait.
That's
Can't wait to meet him.
That's
And
something to look
I
forward
literally cried when she told me she was pregnant,
my
because she'd been trying for years, and it wasn't.
to. Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah, and so I'm going to have a grandchild.
Congratulations.
Yeah, those are my 2
Yeah,
kids.
That's
Oh.
fantastic.
I'm very proud of them.
Well, you've been a public servant for almost
30 years.
30 years, and you also try to continue that.
I ran for sheriff in 2022.
Are you planning to do that?
No, I don't think I can beat the system. I think the system is in such a position that it dictates. Unfortunately, we have a sheriff now, and I don't think he's currently beatable. I just don't.
Who's
I would
the
love to. Kevin McMahill.
Oh yes, that's right.
I don't think we can beat him.
He's pretty firmly entrenched and
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're gonna go on a quick break right now. I'm gonna take this as a break time, and then when we
we'll
come
do some
back-
with those waters here in a moment,
Yes. When we come back, we have so many news and events, and also to chit chat with our previous sergeant officer,
Yeah.
sergeant, right?
Sergeant. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
Sergeant.
Sergeant Metro.
Retired Sergeant Hyt.
Retired Sergeant Hyt. Very good. Thank you so much, Jason.
That's why I'm in the middle. See?
And we will be right back. Please don't go away.
Are you looking to record or film your podcast? We have the sound room and all necessary equipment you need. Contact us for pricing and to schedule your tour.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. If you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
And welcome back, Rise and Shine. Again, I'm Jason, and there's Maria right here.
And we have the amazing Stan Hyt.
That's right. Now we weren't really putting you on the spot there. We're just kind of building up the suspense. So yes, great to have you on here. We were talking about, well, just kind of getting warmed up, really.
Yes.
Talking about some things there. Maria, you had something in mind?
Yes,
too?
I actually have something. Formula One is coming back. Pretty soon, tickets are now available.
I believe it's November 23rd and 24th.
Yes, November 21 to 23rd.
Okay, 21st.
Okay, starting, it says tickets will go on sale to the public starting Monday. Also, I think, yes, you're right on that one. March 25th, and it will be held on the weekend of November 21st to 23rd.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know how popular it was with Vegas the first time.
Yeah, what was your personal experience? Did you have any?
I didn't. I stayed away from it.
Traffic or any of that?
I'm not really a race fan. I'm a sports fan, but
Sure.
not into racing. Although I like anything that's professional that's done well. But I think a lot of the merchants were a little I don't know, skeptical of it because it blocked some of their business and caused a lot of traffic congestion. Streets were closed. There's a lot of there was some negatives.
As a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I am surprised it's coming back again. I guess did they
have
vote it every year or just
no, they have
just for next year?
they have a contract until
For how many years?
The agreement was, I believe, for 4.
4
I
years.
could be wrong, but yeah, that commitment was set. So it is coming
Yeah.
back over the next few years at that time. So like it or not, there were some council members and things that that said, well, no, we wanted more say on how and when and what. Probably wanted their piece of the pie too, but no, it's the commitment is set. And Clark County overall approved that yes, we're going forward with that. So be ready for it again in another 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
But we're prepared, right? We've been through this already. We handled that. We handled the Super Bowl.
It's not just the 7 months too. It's like a couple of months before preparing for
It's
it,
true. No,
tearing
it's
everything apart, and then another month afterward taking it all
So yeah,
back.
about
So it's
7-8 months, right around
3-4 month commitment.
September, October. Okay, be prepared to maneuver again. But now I was interested though. You can take the cop out of the job, but you can't take the job out of the cop, so to speak. Did you view, like she asked earlier, an event like the Super Bowl or F1 with that perspective in mind? Were you watching things on the news and just kind of like, ooh, big concerns? Or
I've been retired long enough now that I'm becoming more of a
More of a
civilian,
civilian.
less of a police officer. But I do. You never get it out of your system. I mean, I love being a police officer. When you do something for 30 years, it doesn't go away. But
Of course not.
But I looked at the Super Bowl as entertainment. I enjoyed it. Formula One. I know there are people that love that sport, and God bless them. So I wasn't involved in any of the hardships of it. If there was any criminal activity, stuff like that, I wasn't. So to me, it was just a positive event. Both of them, actually.
Yeah, honestly, I was proud and relieved that both of those events went by without, as far as I know, any major incident.
Yep.
There was no tragedy. There was no ugliness. Sadly,
There's
that
no
waited
like
until
Harvest Festival tragedy.
right. Sadly, it waited till the parade party in Kansas City to go bad. So that was unfortunate.
Really,
shooting.
what happened?
They had a shooting.
There was a shooting following people exiting from a rally
Oh,
when they returned to
I'm a
Kansas City.
Chief fan. So who is Chief fan?
And this one, I was pulling for the 49ers.
California thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned.
I grew up in Santa Barbara, California.
Okay.
I was never a San Francisco fan. I was a Dodger fan.
Okay.
I mean, a Ram fan in more of the LA area
Yeah,
rather
LA
than
versus, yeah.
But actually, I didn't have any skin in the game, so I just enjoyed the game.
Appreciate it from both sides.
I
yeah.
enjoyed the game. It was a
It's
good
a
game.
very nice game, actually. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
So, are you a Chargers fan?
I went to college, San Diego State, and I did enjoy watching the Chargers while I was there then. That team just never really grew on me, but,
Much has been said. That's about what
Yeah.
people say about the Chargers.
Even
it's
the
like
Padres.
You can't fall in love with
even the
them.
Padres, they never, I went to all their games, while I was in between college, but they never really grew on me. I was always a Dodger fan, just always, and a Ram fan, LA Ram fan, and a Laker fan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know. I'm not anymore.
As a Nuggets
I'm
fan.
no longer currently a Laker
Yeah,
fan.
as a Nuggets fan, I'm very happy to say we'll save sports for another show.
Okay.
But the Denver Nuggets own the Lakers these days. It's undisputable. So
That's
I know that.
quite all right.
I'm pretty happy with
I
that.
know that when I bring this Formula One race, I know that we're gonna go into this all the other
All the
sports.
other good stuff. Yeah.
Well, anyways,
I wanted to say though, very interestingly, as a Dodgers fan, you may be following that Steve Garvey, Republican, is at the top of the list at this point through some of the primaries in California for the seat there.
He was promoted by Adam Schiff because Adam Schiff feels he can beat him rather than a Democratic opponent, female Democratic opponent. So Adam Schiff poured all his money to get Steve Garvey promoted.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Yeah. I can't believe people still support Adam Schiff. I mean,
He
the
was-
man
he
is
was-
such a dishonest person. And
Chair
they're
of
still
the
gonna-
House. Yeah. And basically behind Dianne Feinstein, I believe is who that was. And he's just a walking, talking number two. And so good for the Republicans because him representing the Democrats, it's kind of mealy mouthed. It's kind of sad. So yeah, probably gonna get a Dodger in the seat there in California.
Well,
so there's a little
I wouldn't
hope
hold
for
your breath.
California.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that. The system is in play, and it's tough to beat the system. And the system is set for Adam Schiff. They're going to put him in. I love Steve Garvey. I was a big fan.
Okay.
I love Steve Garvey. He had a run actually for Cal Ripken's record where he was playing for
consecutive games.
Yep,
Oh,
and he
okay.
got hurt in a game, and it was soon after that they traded him to the Padres. But I would love to see Steve Garvey. He's a very conservative Christian man. I believe in the things, the values that he believes in, and I would just love to see it happen. But I'm not holding my breath for it.
Yeah, it's hard to swallow. It's hard to stomach Adam Schiff,
Oh,
but it's California.
well,
So
gentlemen, obviously you're talking about politics in California, but we are in Las Vegas. How about our mayoral candidates in Las Vegas? What do you think about each one of them?
you know, I haven't been following the mayor's race. We've had a Democratic mayor. We're going to get another Democratic mayor, I believe. If they would just stay middle, I would vote for Berkeley, but I don't have any faith in our electoral system here in Nevada. I think it's,
Rigged.
yeah. I didn't want to say rigged, but yes.
I'm gonna say
If I'm going to be honest, the elections are rigged. We're going to get what is selected, not what is elected.
Who do you think is getting ahead at this time?
Every Democrat. I mean, they're not even trying. I mean, you don't even have to try. It's just going to happen. You know, when I ran two years ago, I ran with some great people that had some great, and they were. I mean, even if you look at the district attorney's race with Aaron Ford and oh God, he is an ex-felon with a whole bunch of problems and didn't do his job, didn't investigate anything, and he ran against a candidate that supported the community, and he won, and he even had Republicans on his side, even though he's a Democrat, that didn't support our Republican candidate, and he had Republican. It's a selection. It's not I just don't.
So, how can we beat this system? Because I want to beat this system.
We have to have fair elections, which is paper ballots done on the day of the election. You know, no longer can we have mail-in ballots. Give me a reason why we came up with mail-in ballots. Is there a legitimate reason we came up with mail-in ballots? We already had ballots that if you can't get to the election, you ask for one and it comes. Okay? So why do we have to change that system and just mail ballots out to everybody willy-nilly?
And they mail 100 million ballots to one
Yeah.
to one person.
Yeah.
Well, I'm exaggerating.
Absentee ballot, it slipped my mind there for a second, but we had absentee ballots. We already have that. So why do we need mail-in ballots? It's just a form of cheating. It's simply a form of cheating.
I don't know a lot about it, although strangely I did my part a little bit there. I had a temporary assignment where I was actually working with Clark County Commission, the election department. And
Totally Democratic
I was
commission.
verifying signatures on those write-in ballots for the primary that was just held. But as far as how those are manipulated, unfortunately, that's often the case with any of these mechanisms.
I got statistics I could hit you with as far as the election. There were like 40,000 people that voted more than once. There were 300 ballots that were sent in from one address. There were hundreds of ballots sent in from vacant lots. You know,
Wow.
so just figure all that corruption right there.
Wow.
I mean, and the fact that they had MiFi, not Wi-Fi, they call it MiFi to get away from saying you're not allowed to have Wi-Fi on the machines, on the
Okay.
Dominion type machines. And they had MiFi, which means they can be totally manipulated. They're totally manipulable. So it's like, how is that a legitimate election? And it was contested and nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody wanted to hear it. All those points, you know, they had some single people transferring boxes and boxes of ballots when they're supposed to have dual people for accountability. And there's so many violations of the electoral process, and yet it was allowed to be, the commission certified the election. And it's just, you're not going to get a fair election. You're going to get people that are selected.
It does seem like a sad state of affairs. Hopefully, I mean, obviously we've got a number of elections this year. It's a big, big year, both locally and nationally. So we'll see how some of that plays out. I know there's a few that I'm rooting for. There's some that I'm not at all concerned with. So we'll
Who are
see.
you reading for?
I'm not going to say that right now. I haven't picked my endorsements yet. I will say.
I pick my endorsement.
I will say, as far as like the mayoral candidates go, Victoria Seaman and Shelley Berkeley were both fantastic. I found that very,
Are you gonna go for Cedric?
well, hey, we got to get him on the show.
Yes, we can get you.
I
the
can
show.
say that, all right, if you're not on my show, then you don't get a vote. So
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah, we're not voting for you guys.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you're gonna
you
have
got
to
you
be
got to
on
make
the
an
show.
appearance.
Robertson, yeah, you got my mom.
Right.
We need to vote for candidates that'll support our community, you know, protect us from illegal aliens that are coming in here, protect us from this overwhelming homelessness issue that we have.
Yeah.
And it'll stand up for our civil rights. I mean, those are the people we need to support.
Yep.
Not people-
By saying that, please support Mark Robertson.
He's a veteran.
So throwing that out there, yes.
Conservative.
Yes, I have to throw it out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But anyways, have you heard? Yeah, talking about illegal immigrants. Have you seen this in New York where they actually giving them like?
They're giving them credit cards. They're giving them hotel rooms. They're paying. They're willing to
I
ship.
want hotel room.
They're willing to ship them anywhere in the country for a year out in the suburbs to spend a year. They'll pay their entire.
Yeah.
But look at our veterans. They're out sleeping on the streets. I mean,
What
look,
is that?
that's what I'm telling you.
That's extraordinary.
That's what I'm telling you. It's an agenda that's not.
It's because they can get those votes from these illegal immigrants.
It's a leftist woke agenda that's not for America. It's just simply not for America. If the candidate doesn't support American citizens, then they should not be supported by,
America.
our votes.
Yeah, supposedly, but what's happening to our country. But anyways, on the bright side, by the way, guys, there is this thing again, infrastructure that's coming to Vegas, and the ballpark by Tropicana. I don't know what's this going on, but in Tropicana, come on, we already have a congested roads on that area. Why are you bringing up something like that? What do you think about that?
Well, we talked off camera here that I'm not
The
convinced
drawings?
that it's going to happen. And yes, first of all, don't get so excited. It's a watercolor picture. It's pretty.
It's watercolor.
They never turn out the way that they're rendered. It looks neat. Good luck with it. If the team in fact ends up moving here, which again is not a done deal yet. So, okay, it's a neat picture. It's another cool building. We're full of them. Vegas has them everywhere. So we'll see what happens about that. I don't know.
Jason and I discussed this. I kind of disagree. I think it's a done deal. It's an opinion. It's not a fact, but I feel it's a done deal because look at that Tropicana overpass they've been working on for a year now. That has been in the works, And they wouldn't be doing that unless they were planning something that was going to happen. So I think it's going to happen. I know the Oakland team is leaving Oakland, so they've already got permission to come here. So I think it's going to happen. It may not.
It's still
like I
pretty
said, it's an
likely.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Major League Baseball athletics. It's a 1.5 billion Las Vegas ballpark, and it's gonna be actually built by BIG and HTNV. I think those are the builders kind of thing, and it's gonna be a lot of. I don't know. I haven't read the whole thing, but it's kind of like an AI kind of infrastructure. That's what it says.
Well, I think if the community's building streets for it, around it, and all that, I think that they're pretty much prepared for it.
Now we're giving more work for cops. in Vegas.
Well, more to do for sure. But all right, so we'll get the other one team. I'm still hoping that an NBA team makes it here. Now, it doesn't sound like the NBA is actually looking for any expansion right now, so that's what's kind of holding it back. But
yeah, that's what we needed, not that ballpark. You know what I mean?
I actually heard there were 2 more teams that they were going to expand with, new teams.
Okay.
But I heard that 2 years ago, and I haven't heard anything since.
Right.
But I had, when I was campaigning, I had people that were supporting me coming in. They were actually involved in it. But like I said, I haven't heard anything since, so that may not happen.
Oh,
But at the time, they were telling me that the NBA approved 2 expansion teams, and 1 was approved for Las Vegas. But that was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I do recall that they were encouraged on that end. But I think recently, we'll see. Me, still true blue Colorado sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it doesn't necessarily matter who shows up, because it's still good, I can't get behind the Knights or the Raiders, so whatever else comes along. Although my Colorado Rockies are so abysmal, I might be willing to adopt a new team. All right, I can't believe I said that.
yeah, Raiders.
All right, maybe.
Just kidding.
No, a new baseball team. Raider hater for life. You've heard me say that every chance I get.
I always tease him because I know that he is a Raiders hater, so I keep on pushing Raiders.
It does.
Do
But
you have any news before we go on a break?
I've got a couple of things. We're going to kind of open it up to the world news and the more broader issues here, but we'll come back with that.
Yes.
There's some, there's lots going on still.
Before we go, because I'm gonna turn all these things with Jason on last segment. I just wanna say it's March Madness is out there. It's starting, and I feel it. Because I have some rent also. Yeah. So there's do we have March Madness is all about the sports or something else?
Just basketball.
March Madness is NCAA college basketball. It's the tournament.
Okay,
It's going to be taking place in, I believe it's in Phoenix this year.
Oh.
So,
It's not here in Vegas.
To my knowledge, there are now the whole tournament has a series of rounds, and those rounds and those brackets are hosted by different cities, major college cities.
Oh, God.
Generally, and then it all sort of coalesces and cuts down to the final. I think it's the final 8 play in the same place, or the final 4 for sure. So it pairs down at a number of cities. I don't necessarily think Las Vegas is one of those.
Oh.
But the Final Four in March Madness, the whole thing gears up. I think it's the whole thing is about 2-3 weeks.
Here in Vegas every March.
Well, I mean, you're
it's a nation.
got to gamble on it.
Yeah.
It's a national competition.
Because we always have that prepared. I used to work on the hotel, so we always have prepared on March Madness. That's why I thought.
Big gambling month.
Yeah.
March Madness, all the brackets, all of the picks, all of the games.
That's right. Okay, that's the reason why they prepare us.
Vegas is in on all of that for that reason. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we are going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about world news.
Just a few things going on in the world there as well, because, it's not just us.
We will be right back.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Welcome to social media shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
Are you looking to record or film?
Shine once again. I'm Jason Hawe,
Maria,
and
Stan Hyt.
he's ready this time. Well done. So, last segment here, we're just kind of open things up and go a little bit further with starting. Well, we'll start small again here, and we'll go big, and we'll go national. We'll go some of the things. Obviously, it's a big election year, so we'll get back into some of that as well. One thing that I was looking at here this week, though, very unfortunate. There was an issue at UNLV where a small group of pro-Palestine supporters protested at a lecture at UNLV. It was a physics lecture, and the speaker, the scientist, the scholar, was speaking about black holes. And these rabble-rousers interrupted, busted in, and protested and caused a stir. And unfortunately, rather than escorting them out, campus police just ended the lecture and removed the speaker because he happens to be from Israel.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see this news, yes.
And so now there's a lot of petition, a lot of investigation as far as how it was handled. Their issue was free speech for the protesters because it was announced, this lecture on black holes, this physics class, if you will, was announced as a public event. And so they're protecting their free speech. Well, what about the free speech of the professor who traveled here to educate people on his passion, his subject, black holes in physics? So really blew it there. I get it, the whole anti-Semitism that's going on, and there's been issues here in Las Vegas, in Summerlin, and other places too. Horseshit. Excuse my language, but the pro-Palestine thing, what the hell is in your head? Do not forget for a second how despicable, how inhuman, how monstrous those events were in October 7th. They're reluctant to show the full detail and the full reports, but they don't miss any opportunity to show all the women and the children that are still stuck in Gaza and getting bombs dropped, and they're getting, and all of that, and all the casualties from that. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So you followed that too. So I was just.
So I've seen. I didn't click on it. I'm not interested, but it's saying that they are actually kind of like banning Las Vegas in the Middle East, something like that. Some kind of story like
Oh, well, Sin City is not very popular amongst any of the Muslim, cultures or nations there. That's kind of a given.
Actually, they do like to come here and party.
They do. And see, now with Dubai and places like that, they're kind of cashing in or cashing their chips, so to speak. Yeah, okay, people still want to have fun, but no, I mean, philosophically, yeah, this isn't their kind of place.
No, that's just...
But no, the whole pro-Palestine thing, from everybody across the country, all you idiots, start with the fact that, okay, these poor Gaza, people in Gaza are in the middle of a war. Stop and remember the fact that they're the ones harboring Hamas in the first place. They are in bed with them anyway. They are complicit. They are compliant. They are, allowing them to camp out in their attic and under their floors and in their hospitals and in their homes to hide all of their terrorist activities, all their rockets, all the nonsense there. So, all right, if you don't want Israel moving in on that, get them the hell out.
They're coming to Vegas if they... No, just kidding.
Well, we don't need any of that.
Your college professor story highlights the fact that it's not the people, it's not what the Israeli people are doing that are angering the Hamas people. It's the fact that they just exist.
Yeah, simply.
The professor was teaching physics. He wasn't teaching anti-Hamas rhetoric.
Nothing political whatsoever.
And he's not in Israel. He's here. And yet they want to silence him. And they don't even know the guy, other than he's got a title of being Jewish.
Yeah, you're idiots. All right? Just targeting him because he happens to be from Israel to rant about what you don't know. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, because the issue is pretty obvious. Now, the UN, for that matter, they have their head up their ass, because they have been clamoring all along for Israel to just stop shooting, stop fighting, stop the fighting. They should have been, the first thing and only thing out of their mouth should be, get the hostages back. Yep. Release the hostages. But that's not their focus, and that's not what anybody's attention is about anymore.
They're trying to actually kind of like dodge that focus. You see what I'm saying?
They are completely.
Yeah,
they have their head up their butts, because they've all said all along, well, okay, yeah, what they did was ugly. It was bad. All right, bad. Shame, Hamas. But stop punishing them for it. That's all they're talking about. Yeah. And that pro-Palestine nonsense throughout has been just as complicit with that.
I think the mindset isn't punishing them. It's stopping them from ever being able to do it again. And why would you tolerate such an act, such a horrific act, coming? Israel didn't go into Gaza. Gaza came into Israel.
That's right.
And they committed the atrocities. Okay, and it's
and
not just
openly declared that they will do it again and again. So you have every opportunity.
So it's not just a matter of going in and spanking them for what they did. It's going in there and stopping it from ever happening
again. Putting an end to it.
Absolutely. And you need to eliminate Hamas for that.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Hamas needs to be eliminated completely. The entire government of Hamas needs to be eliminated. And to do that, that means we have to, it's very involved. That means we have to go into Iran, because Iran is totally supporting.
And Iran is feeding every bit of it up.
And who's feeding Iran? Our current government. Our current government is feeding Iran, who's feeding Hamas, who's killing
and Hezbollah and all of the rest.
And they're only killing Israel because they're small and they can do some of it. They come over here, it'd be a whole different story. So they're not. Iran's not coming here yet. That's a bigger picture for a different day. And we need to be prepared for that.
Well, but going back to the immigration issue,
that's
not
happening.
Entirely true. Iran is coming here.
They're coming here. They just haven't done the attack yet.
And members of the Houthis and the Hezbollah and all of
the Chinese. They've got police departments in our country managing their own people.
Yeah,
they've got biolabs that have started that they discovered in California. I mean, how can you just allow people to come across our border unvetted? I don't know a person in the United States that doesn't agree.
Bring back Trump.
Well, it's not just Trump; it's America. We have to. Trump supports America and the wall, but America is the one that's suffering with the fentanyl coming across the border, with the unknowns, the illegals that are coming across. These people are not currently attacking us, but they're setting up cells everywhere for the day for it to happen.
But our current government allowing these things.
Yes.
If we have Trump in the
would not happen.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
And then you got
the soft Congress.
You got Biden saying it's Trump's fault, our border. I mean, where is the logic? Where's the common sense? People are actually believing it.
He's AI, well, and I don't know if you heard about that. His doctor told him that he has dementia already. So why he's still on seat?
Oh yeah, I think
They
that's
haven't,
remarkable.
they haven't actually had a test for his dementia. They won't allow that because everybody can see it's evident.
It's true.
So they won't do that. They gave him a physical, a body physical.
yeah,
That he's in
tough
perfect
to
health.
meet. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he just recently, over Super Tuesday, this occurred this week, and Trump, had 87, I believe, percent, but Biden got 79%. With all of his recent mental issues
I think that's really
that have been observed,
Is
Biden's still leading the way, proving once again that Democrats are perfectly comfortable with only half a brain. They're used to that, so, yeah.
how about brain?
But yeah, so no, Biden and everything, and even in Congress being soft on those issues, and things like the Squad with AOC and her ilk.
Well, that's backfiring on Biden because he
Isn't
didn't
it?
support Gaza like they wanted him to.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're going not committed, uncommitted.
Yeah, you just love what's in their heads and in their hearts. It's just staggering what they're really after. But all right, steering back to, as you mentioned, China, and well, for one, it's infiltration in the United States. But they're not. They moving once again. Now again,
No.
you are partial to this because you are from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
They bumped more boats just a week or two ago. Another minor collision from Chinese militia boats or their Chinese Coast Guard and the supply ships in the shoal, where so China is still moving in on the South China Sea entirely. They claim the whole thing, and they are now sort of escalating at least the rhetoric or the terminology in how they view the Taiwan issue. They're no longer talking about peaceful resolution. Not only that, but they have ramped up their military spending, and now once again for the second year in a row, more than what they're making. Then a 7% increase in the budget for their military spending and the growth of their military over the 5% gross domestic product that they are projected for the second years in a row. They're ramping up for war. They are not messing around anymore. They're out of their damn minds. They think they own everything in that whole region. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. It's our sovereignty, it's our, And for one thing, if Trump does make it, I certainly just hope that he's the one to put up their ass in China and North Korea and Russia. Because that's really, it's getting worse. The whole China issue is now one we really have to watch.
It's not just a federal issue with the president. It's a big business issue too. We need to stop. Excuse me. We need to stop sending our businesses to China. They control our microchips for all our self-defense. They control our pharmaceuticals, and they control all our uranium, the lithium for the batteries. It's like, why do we let them have all of our most valuable minerals for our infrastructure? They can just simply shut that off, and where are we going to be?
Yeah, no, the money that China has everywhere around the globe is a problem. That needs to be cut off.
We need to bring our businesses out of there like Trump was trying to do. He was begging businesses, come back to America. We'll support you. We'll support you with the tax structure and stuff. And people don't remember that. All they remember is, he sent out a bad tweet. But look at Biden now. He's letting our military go. He's letting an invasion of countries into our country. And people don't care about that because he's nice. He likes ice cream. Why can't people see all the things that Trump did for America, and the fact that he mean tweeted people that attacked him is like, that's just human nature. You attack a person enough, you're going to want to fight back.
It's true. I mean, it was recognizable that, all right, one thing Trump cannot be accused of is having a lot of composure.
He's a counterpuncher.
So that being said, though, that volatility might be enough to scare the bejesus out of the rest of the world and all the trouble that's out there. So, okay, sometimes you kind of want a madman in charge so that you tread lightly. And again, China, North Korea, Russia, the Middle East, Iran, tread lightly.
They respected him when he was in office.
That's what we're hoping for.
They did. China was in check. Russia was in check. North Korea didn't fire any more missiles like they were doing under the Obama administration. And I mean, and Middle East, he went there and made peace with the Middle East. Yeah, there were some bad actors over there that he had to play nice with, but still, it kept them in check, kept us safe.
Yeah, well, who would respect us with our president?
Nobody.
They think that we are all freaking baloney right now.
He's a sweet little man. He's Mr. Magoo at this point.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of you aren't going to remember that reference, but all right, look it up, Mr. Magoo. Okay.
Look at Obama. He allowed one of our top secret battleships get taken captive over in international waters by Iran. They came on and boarded.
They boarded.
Took our men prisoners. Trump, you think Trump would have allowed that?
Oh.
They inspected that ship. They went through it. They learned all the things that were top secret about that ship. Plus, not only did he totally dilapidate our military during the 8 years that he was in office, Trump came in and he had to make major concessions just to get the money to build up our military again. And he did. And we had no wars during that time because they looked at him as a leader to contend with. I mean, basically,
a bit of a hothead, but that serves.
Look at Iran when they shot down our drone. Mm-hmm. He went in and he took care of business.
Now, to Biden's credit, he responded recently in a similar fashion to some of the the feeble attacks by the Houthis, and so there have been a few strikes on some of those Iran-backed installations and things like that. We need more of that, but.
Yeah, we need a big stick.
Yeah,
we need a big stick to at least. It's like a parent. You school a child early. You let them know you're serious. The child doesn't stray from right and wrong. That's America has to be strong. And I'm not saying a bully. I'm not saying we go around and start punishing, but we need to be strong so that we're not potential victims.
Yeah,
and we are now.
It's true.
We are invaded.
When is the election coming up? November, right?
4th, I think.
For the president? No,
November 4th?
Yes.
Yeah.
November 4th, I believe.
It'll be a Tuesday. So we know that. We could look that up. 2nd or 4th, somewhere in that week.
Yeah.
So again,
I cannot wait to wait for the next president coming up. And it should be Trump because, you know what, I believe when you are running a country, when you're running a house, when you're running a relationship, you need to have a business mindset. Because if you don't have a business mindset, how could you run something to be a leader? Does that make sense? That's the reason why I like Trump. In the beginning, I literally don't like Trump, and I don't like, what is that girl, that lady?
Nikki Haley?
Yeah. So I don't want any of them, but when he did what he did, I'm like.
Well, look at our economy under Obama. 8 years of flat 2% growth, 2%. Nothing really. Businesses were going out of business. You'd see all the brick and mortar businesses. You look when I was patrolling; they were basically closing up. And then Trump gets in them, and Obama even made the statement. And today we will never see more than 2% growth from here on out. That's just the way the times are now. And Trump comes in, boom, within a month, 4% growth. And we got 6% growth. I mean, it just was amazing. The optimism that we had during his term. Yeah, there was a lot of conflict because they didn't like the one world order. People didn't like the fact that he was bringing America and making it strong. So there was a lot of contention. But then when Biden got into office, what happened? We had 1% inflation and 6% growth. Biden got in within 2 months. We had 30% inflation and no growth. So and they're blaming Trump for that. I mean, how do you blame somebody who had it right and then within 2 months The price of eggs goes from 82 cents a dozen to $5 a dozen. The price of gas goes from $1.80 to $5 a gallon. How do you blame Trump for that? It was Biden that shut down the oil pipelines. It was Biden that made all the deregulation so serious that nobody can do business. That the oil companies didn't even want to try to grow. They just sat still and said, they're going to close us. Yeah.
Imagine that pipeline if we ever had that.
Well, we had it. We had it for 3 years, for 4 years. Trump immediately opened it up when Obama kept shutting it down.
Yeah, that if we had
First
that,
thing-
now that is our gas prices, can you imagine
Yeah.
that?
Oh my
We
gosh.
would be paying like what, 90 cents?
Everything.
Oh,
Well, maybe not.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
You got Democrats in California that want to raise the minimum wage to $50 an hour without any concept of what that would do to
Please.
these.
Oh my.
Absolutely
There's
clueless.
no plan. Yeah, that's crazy. But anyways, you have any more news?
Well, there's always more,
Oh.
but
But we are, we have short timing. But anyways, guys, I just want to actually acknowledge again our nonprofit organizations that doing good here in Las Vegas. There's a lot of community service running around Las Vegas. Find it on any, Google search, Google it. So that you can do your, you're gonna, what do you call that?
philanthropy.
Yes.
That's what you want to do. Look that word up too. Mr. Magoo and philanthropy.
Yes.
All right, that's the lesson for today.
And yes, and I always say, guys, I post this on Facebook, give love. Anybody out there who have an extra love to give, instead of spreading hate to everybody, give some love, okay? Everybody needs that extra love. So please spread love, peace, and togetherness, unity. There you go.
Okay.
Unity. Anyways, last words, guys.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes, Stan, it really was a pleasure to have you here. It's been a great show. Again,
Nice meeting you.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
And you have anything last thing to say before we go?
Well, just keep looking out there. If you see the good out there, acknowledge it, reward it, make more out of it. Because it is. We're talking about a lot of negative stuff here too. So you're right. Find what's good out there. Be part of that. So simple as that. That's all I have to say.
That's it. And thank you so much for watching Rise and Shine today. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, comment. Our show is running Monday to Saturday on socialmediashows.com at 11 a.m. We also broadcast live on socialmediashows.com from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day. Go and find the show that you love on our internet TV channel. Thank you so much and have a great week.
Come on, everybody. Get on your feet. Listen to the sound.